It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Project 2025 would dismantle democracy as we know it.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one."
Is a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
Same thing with the unions. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Do you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
What's at stake here is democracy itself. It's now Donald Trump's party. And if he's elected, the consequences will be catastrophic.
such a flagrant, toxic narcissist that he wants to take down the entire democratic system with him if he goes.
And I didn't need little Bruce Springsteen and all of these.
Are you surprised that he's trash talking you after all this time?
Not really.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. The stewardship of the nation has been thrown away to somebody who doesn't have a clue as to what that means.
Bruce Springsteen, we have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen, right? Much bigger. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget. And the place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full, and I don't have a guitar.
It was okay. It was so worth it. There is no one you would rather go to a Springsteen concert in Jersey with than him. Than that guy. Brooks.
For me, the transformational piece of music was Bruce Springsteen's The River.
Okay.
Which is a journey. You know all the tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
All right. Let's see here. Uh-oh. All right, hopefully that thing is on. Good morning, everybody. It's 9/11 here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Pacific time zone. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my world. It is already 90 degrees. I think we're supposed to get a high of 105 here in beautiful Las Vegas. Anyhow, I hope that you guys are all doing okay. I hope you survived the Labor Day weekend. I gotta say, as an Uber driver here in Las Vegas, I would say this was probably our busiest weekend of the year. Surprisingly, I mean, Labor Day weekend is always a busy weekend in Vegas. But this year, even more so. Anyhow, let me know if you guys can hear me. A little thumbs ups or something like that. Just make sure that the sound is okay. I think it's okay. But yeah, so we had a really busy weekend. We had about, I think, 4 or 5 different colleges had like these senior trips for the seniors from all over the country. They got these package deals. I was speaking to some of the college kids as I was driving them around, and they told me that at the schools they were selling these package deals, and for $500, I think it included airfare, 3 nights of hotels, and plus each night they got to go to a party, like at a club, nightclub type of a deal. And so they were from like Alabama and U of A, which is Arizona. LSU, because LSU was playing here against USC. There was some other colleges that were here, and that on top of the normal busyness of Labor Day, it was just bananas. It was bananas, I tell you. But anyhow, here we are. Now we are in the home stretch, so to speak, coming in after Labor Day. And we've got just, what are we down to, 70 or something days to the election? 70 something. So this is the home stretch. This is when we really need to make sure that we get the word out that Donald Trump cannot be elected president under any circumstances. We cannot have another Donald Trump presidency. It will end us. as a country, as a democracy. I believe. And we need to make sure everyone knows that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are really good people. And there's not even close to compare them to Trump and Vance. Trump is not a good person. He just isn't. He's not a good person. It's just, he's evil. He really is evil. And if for no other reason, that's reason enough to not vote for him. Anyhow, let me say hi to the chat here. We got Roxanne Arnfield, looks like was first in the chat. Good morning to Roxanne. Doug G is here. Hey, Doug G, good to see Doug. Jolie, hey, Jolie's here, a little hungover. Uh-oh. Jolie was enjoying the Labor Day weekend, I can see there. All right. Stephanie B2 is here, like in the intro. Carrie C is here. Hello, Carrie C. 56 Nick Rich was like number 8. Hey, we're up to 22 likes now. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button if you would. That'd be awesome. 72 says, did AI do this intro? If not, John did a great job. Well, there's a little bit of AI. There's a little bit of me. I edit the stuff together and put the stuff in there. And, I use some AI stuff. A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Hey, MJ McDaniel is here. MJ says a skunk poop and I don't know what was a sleep or whistle. I don't know what that. I'm not very good at emoji. I'm not good at. Maybe I take it too literally. Like skunk would be stink, like stinky poop, and then that face. I don't know what the face is doing. Sleeping? I don't know. Yeah, Fancy's here. Never fear. Good to see Fancy here. Fancy said, get some OJ for Jolie. I don't think Jolie likes OJ, though. That's the only thing. But I hear you. I hear you. So, yeah, we got... who else we got here? Cian's here. Hey, Cian, from all the way from the Netherlands, I believe. Is here. Says, good day, sir. And good day back at you. A good day, and a good day to you. Tim Nelson here, one of our resident Tims. We've got 2 resident Tims. Tim Nelson's one of them. So, good morning to Tim. Good, or wherever you're at. Yeah, well, Tim says morning, so I'm going to say morning back at you. Let's see, I'm just looking down. Gen X George is here. Hey, Gen X George. I haven't seen Gen X George in a while. Thanks for dropping by. Gen X George, good to see you. And let's see, I'm just skipping on down. James Jaramillo. Hey, James, good to see you. Thanks for stopping into the old driver's lounge, as I like to call it. The driver's lounge. Now we got Tim Farrell, our other resident Tim. Tim Farrell says, Jolie, can I have a piece of cheesecake? Oh, yes, the cheesecake. How'd that go? How did the cheesecake thing go? I remember that now. Jolie was talking about getting cheesecake. Let's see, who else we got here? Hey, Kevin Hawthorne's here. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for dropping by in the driver's lounge. Kevin says, good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. All right. Lakeland, representing Lakeland. 72 says, are you flipping us off, John? Never. 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 I would never do that. Jolie says, hi, Tim Farrell. I adjust my glasses. Maybe that's what you're thinking. I don't know. Jolie says, have at it. It certainly doesn't seem as good as now hungover as it did hammered last night. Tim Farrell, don't fuck it up, John. I'll try not to. It may be too late for that already. I may have already fucked it up. I don't know. But anyhow, Nick says, let's try and keep John on topic. Oh, well, the topic is, there really is no topic. I mean, we kind of float around. We kind of bounce around from topic to topic, I guess. So there's Fancy saying hello, hello, hello. Let's see. I'm just scrolling on down here. Deborah Murphy's here. Hey, Deborah. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Good to see you. Good to see Deborah join us. Teresa's here. Hey, Teresa. Good morning to Teresa. T-A-K. T-A-K. Make sure I didn't invert that. Tim says, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Yeah, dust off that bottle. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down. Everyone's being cordial to everybody. Everybody's saying hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. Good morning. MJ Daniel says, don't know if you have seen it, but the reaction of a cheerleader at the Texas A&M game when she sees Ted Cruz is great. I have not seen that. I have not seen it. But I'd like to take a gander at it now that you mention it. Oh, it's 62 days until the election. Okay. Wow. And then Deb says 63. Okay, 62, 63. Wow. It just seems like yesterday. Well, I mean, we started this countdown. It was like 90 something, and now we're already down to 62 or 63 days. I'm not going to actually sit here and try to figure it out exactly, but we're down to just 2 months, basically. And we are in the home stretch. This is the home stretch, and this is when more and more people start paying attention. I know that you and I, most of us in this chat, we've been paying attention like every single day for our whole lives, pretty much. Certainly for years and years. It seems like we, that's all we do is pay attention. But for most people, they don't really, not until now, and in these next few weeks, people will start going, oh yeah, that's right. There seems to be some sort of election going on. Did someone say there's an election? I don't know why these people have British accents. That's the main mystery. It's a mystery. Stephanie B2 says TV2 Live is doing a countdown, and they say 62 days until the election. Okay, 62, 63, whatever. The point is it's getting down to the nitty gritty. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Teresa says, I went on a walk with my daughter and our 2 dogs. Very nice out today. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to go out on nice days with your daughter and your dog. Excuse me while I take care of a little business there. I'm still, it's one of those things. You get a cold, and it fucking lingers. Like I feel pretty good, but then I still have a little bit of a runny nose or a little bit of a cough. And I hide it. I do. I'll just hide it. MJ Daniel, DJJ Firstly. Oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, yeah, okay. Nick Rich says, John begins to read chat about 10 minutes in. How long before he reaches this comment? 9:17. Oh, it took about 5 minutes, I guess, apparently. If my math is correct, it took about 5 minutes to get to you there, Nick. Good day. Fancy says DJT stock price down to $18.76. It's dropping like a stone in the water. Yeah, he's quite the businessman there. Old Trumpety Dumpety. 72 says it's going to reach a high of 79 degrees in San Francisco. I hear that's pretty hot for here. I don't know. I'm just a visitor at the hospital. Yeah, I guess San Francisco can get pretty chilly, so I guess almost 80 is hot for them folks. Fancy says, I'm working on tarot and I'm doing a shoe thing too, laughing out loud. Wow, a shoe thing. Gen X George is saying hello. Okay, I'm just skipping down a little bit here. All the hellos, and you guys are so nice. You're so nice to one another. I love it. I love to see it. I love seeing it. Fancy says, thanks. Eventually I'll go live. I'm trying to get all the stuff I need. We're still waiting. Come on, Fancy. We're waiting for that live stream. Let's get her done. Julie says, you are correct, John. No to the OJ. I need some greasy food. Why is greasy food so good when you have a hangover? I need bacon. Stat. Bacon. Get the bacon over there to Jolie. Jolie says bacon cures everything. So, yeah, get you some bacon. We need to get some bacon in there. I don't know why I'm going Australian a lot today. I don't know. Who knows? Cian says, I love my choco cake, as in chocolate. Brussels. 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 We get the chocolate from Brussels. Tim Farrell, tomato juice is my hangover vice. Make a Bloody Mary. Little dog to bit you. Gen X says, Jolie, bacon is one of my two major food groups. The other one is candy. I just made myself some sausage. I know it's not bacon, but I bought sausage. So I had some sausage and some eggs for breakfast this morning, as I was watching the Stephanie Miller Show on Twitch. I was there, yes, I was lurking. I didn't have time to chat because I was cooking breakfast and eating it. So I was lurking over there at Stephanie Miller Show, but I saw a bunch of you folks. I saw a bunch of you over there in the chat room, chatting and such. Teresa says, now I want cheesecake. I know, that's the thing about talking about cheesecake. It makes you want to have some cheesecake. Sia says, who was waiting for Hal at night? I knew he would be tired after 5 hours, so when it was 2 a.m. I went to bed. Yeah, I know. I thought he was going to come back on too, and he didn't. But I can't blame him, I guess. He's been very, very busy, doing all kinds of weird things to his schedule, driving about here and there, all around. Nick Chris 923. Hey, I'm now 3 minutes behind, Nick. Thanks for that time check. Let's see here. Hey, Fancy gifted a membership again. Thank you so much, Fancy, for doing that. Helping support the show. And Doug G was the recipient of the membership. Thank you so much, Fancy, for doing that. And enjoy, Doug G. Enjoy. Let's see here now. I'm just skipping on down. Josh is here. Guess I'll say hi, everyone. Thanks, Josh, for saying hi. Thanks for being here in the driver's lounge. And good to see you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share button for me, if you would. Let's share the show out. Let's share it out. Let's see here. I believe I'm just about caught up with the chat here. We're talking about, is everyone saying hello? Lots of hellos. And yeah, Jolie says, I guess I'll say hi back to Josh. Good to see you. Says Josh, the other day, everyone got pizza after the show, laughing out loud. Oh yeah, that's right. And in fact, I did go get me some pizza. Hey, look at there. Nick Rich gifted a membership. Thank you, Nick. Thank you so much for helping to support the show that way. And the recipient was Tim Farrell, one of our resident Tims. So enjoy that, Tim. Courtesy of 56 Nick Rich. Julie says, today's bacon. Yeah, definitely, now it's bacon. Everyone's going to go make some bacon. And I don't mean that in the, you know what I mean. Although the other way, isn't too bad either, but the other meaning. All right, guys, so I guess I'm kind of in the chat, so I guess that means now I got to talk about stuff. So the main thing, I guess, so what are we going to talk about? We've been talking about, of course, Donald Trump, lately, and I've been talking about how people have been leaving, how Donald Trump has been losing support, basically, how Republicans have been coming out and saying that they're going to vote for Democrats. They're voicing their support publicly for Kamala Harris, and I think that's great. And here's a little meme that I saw the other day, and I got this off of, I think, Threads or something, And so, and you know, I mean, I guess you got to take things with a grain of salt. I didn't really, you know, I didn't check this out to make sure it's not fake, but hopefully it's not. But anyhow, it says, I'm a 55-year-old lifelong Republican. I hunt, fish, own an AR-15, and listen to Hank Williams Jr., and I'm voting Democrat for the first time in my life to save our democracy. And it says at CJ Rule 1 or whatever. So hopefully that's real. I mean, I guess full disclosure, I didn't do any big fact checking on it, but it does align up with a lot of, we've been seeing Republican mayors, we've been seeing other Republican office holders, former office holders, you know, whatever, people that are somewhat known to be Republicans saying they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. And I think that I think we're going to see a lot of that, because I think finally it's filtering down about what a danger Donald Trump is. Not just that he's, you know, I guess things like being an adjudicated rapist, I guess that didn't really sink in. The fact that he's been convicted of 34 felonies for basically fraud and, you know, violating campaign finance laws and things of this nature. I guess that wasn't, I guess, or maybe that took a long time to sink into people's psyches and or whatever. I don't know. But it's finally sinking in. I think people are finally seeing Trump for what he really is. That he is this narcissist, egotistical, psychopath, sociopath who doesn't like democracy, who would just as soon tear up the Constitution and be a dictator, not for just one day, but for as long as he's still breathing. Which also brings to mind J.D. Vance should be nowhere near the White House, one heartbeat away from being the president, right? I mean, he's the worst. I think he might even be worse than Trump himself. So, I mean, you've got the worst ever in Donald Trump, with his number two being the worst ever. You know, I mean, it's just amazing. So we need to just, like I said, this is the home stretch. And we need to promote Harris Walls with everything we do, everywhere we go. You know, make sure you're registered to vote. Check your voter registration, vote.org. It'll lead you to where you need to go to check your registration, especially if you live in a red state. Especially, make sure you're registered to vote. Tim Farrell says bacon is now $50 a pound, people are saying. Yep, people are saying that, yes. The people in his head, in his ear, I guess. Not that Donald Trump would know. He's never gone grocery shopping in his life, you know. Let's see. Fancy says, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you never know. With me, Rich, laughing out loud. I wish I knew how to do live karaoke party. Yeah, I don't know how to do that either. Hey, there's Mod Day. Hello, Mod Day. Good to see you. Thanks for being in the driver's lounge. James Jaramillo says Republican voters are now realizing that they don't want to be controlled. It takes a while to seep in, you know. There's been generations of brainwashing going on. So it's taken us a while to get the message in, but it's finally seeping into some of these people. I believe. I believe. Let's see. Nick Rich says, how can we get John agitated enough to bring out Tough Cookie? The background noise is getting to me. What background noise are you hearing, Nick? All of a sudden there's background noise? Is anyone else hearing background noise? Is my microphone working? Because I have not heard any background noise in any of the playbacks of the show. And now all of a sudden Nick is saying there's background noise. So if anyone else can hear it, let me know. Josh, sounds like air conditioning. Okay, so that's the thing. The air conditioning, it just kicked on, but for the past month that I've been using this microphone, I've not heard the air conditioning, and everyone has said that they can't hear the air conditioning. Now all of a sudden you guys are hearing the air conditioning? So that's weird. Now all of a sudden there's air conditioning sound that was never coming through before. So then, now I'm worried about if the mic is not working correctly, because it was never coming through before. I've even made comments about that in past shows, and you guys have said we don't hear the air conditioning, and now all of a sudden you guys can hear the air conditioning. So I don't know why that would change all of a sudden. I don't know why it would all of a sudden you guys can hear it. And I don't think I've done anything different as far as my mic setup and everything else. Yeah, Stephanie, I will get very cranky if the AC is not on. But so have you guys noticed it in the past month worth of live stream shows? Did you guys hear it before? Because I'm sure I said, do you guys hear it? And you guys said no. Everyone said no. And now all of a sudden you can hear it. I don't understand why all of a sudden you can hear it. It's plugged in. You guys can hear that I'm on a mic, right? You know what? Maybe it's not plugged in. I mean, maybe it's plugged in, but maybe it's... let me... You know what? You know what I bet it is? Because I plugged it in. Maybe I plugged it in too early. I might not even be on the mic. Let me double check here real quick. Okay, I bet you that changes everything, right? Okay, I did plug it in, but for some reason, it didn't, I guess it wasn't on this whole time. And so I had to unplug it and replug it in. Now, I bet you guys aren't hearing the AC now, are you? Right? No AC now, right? See, you guys, yeah, there's no cord, but so this whole time, even though the mic was on, it wasn't actually on. It wasn't connected to the phone. And see, 70 can't hear it now. So that was the deal. This whole time, these whole 30 minutes or so, I've been speaking into this microphone here, but it wasn't connected.
even though I had it plugged in. But here's the lesson to be learned for me is that I plugged it in, I guess, before I turn on the app or something. So I guess I got to make sure I plug it in after I go on the app. The app, when I talk about the app, I'm talking about the app that this show is being run from. I'm using an app. It's the Prism app, and it's on my phone. And so that was it. But now it's no sound. See, there you go, Carol. Thank you, Carol, by the way, and welcome to the driver's lounge. So that solves that little mystery. I mean, because when you guys were saying you could hear the air conditioning, that's why it didn't make sense to me, because ever since I bought this microphone, it's been what, at least a month or 2 months ago, and however long it's been, and you guys have been telling me that you don't hear the air conditioning, and I was like, oh, that's awesome! I can run my air conditioning and do the show and not, sweat to death. And now all of a sudden you're hearing the AC, but it was because when I plugged it in, it wasn't plugged in. So hey, we figured that out. We solved it. We worked it out together. Ain't that something? Hey, Anthony Reminiak. That's a tongue twister for me. Anthony Reminiak is here. I might just shorten it to Anthony. Thanks for being here. Anthony says, I thought I was deaf. Wow. Well, thanks for being in the driver's lounge. And no, you're not deaf. Apparently, I just didn't have the... I mean, it was plugged in, but it wasn't on. It didn't activate. Anyhow. All right. Mystery solved. And apparently, that background noise was just annoying the hell out of Nick Rich 56. So I'm glad you brought it up, because otherwise I would have done the whole show without the damn mic being plugged in. So I'm glad you brought it up, Nick, actually. All righty. Nick Rich, okay, how do we get John upset now? Yeah. Now what are you going to do? Now that we solved that little mystery. Anthony says, that's pretty good pronunciation. I can pronounce it, I just can't say it. No, that didn't make sense. It's like I know how to say it, Anthony Reminiak. It's just hard for me to get it out. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'm glad to see you in the driver's house. Not sure if I've seen you before, Anthony. Have I? So thanks for being in here. Make sure you give me that thumbs ups and all that good stuff. William's here. Hey, TJ and everyone else. Hello, William. Good to see William in the old driver's lounge. Thanks for dropping on in here. We are just solving mysteries, like why was there background noise? And thanks to Nick Rich 56, we figured it out. And to everybody who helped me on that. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so where was it? We were talking about Trump losing his base, or at least people peeling away, more and more Republicans peeling away. And I think that's a great thing. I think it's going to continue to happen. Apparently, of course, the Trump campaign and Fox News, and probably just the mainstream media in general, they're going to continue to try to make this into a horse race. I mean, Fox News, they don't really want a horse race. I guess they want to promote Trump. But the mainstream media, of course, they want the horse race. They want the close race. They think that bolsters their ratings. My thoughts are, hey, look, I think ratings are ratings. I mean, and I think a blowout could get you just as much ratings as a close race. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being, biased or something. But they want to make this into a horse race, so they put Kamala Harris under the the tightest scrutiny that there is, and they let Donald Trump pass on so many things. And that's what's frustrating, I think, to most of us who are paying attention. We see what a vile, disgusting, just just an evil person that Donald Trump is, and yet he gets a pass after pass after pass, and then they want to bring up little ticky-tacky things about Kamala Harris and try to somehow make that equal to what Trump does and says. I mean, in as far as that it's bad or whatever. And it's just, that is what's frustrating. And that's why I say this is the home stretch. And as we're talking with our family and friends and workmates or whatever, if you can do it in a way that's not going to start World War III with your family and friends and workmates, whenever there's an opportunity, make sure you let them know that, hey, Kamala Harris, what she's for, and what Donald Trump will do and what he has done. We've seen him. We've seen what he's done. We have a 4-year history of Donald Trump in the White House. That should be enough right there for people to go, no, not again. We're not going back. We're not going back. That should be enough. But I guess it's not for some people. I mean, we saw how he deliberately bungled and mishandled the COVID pandemic. He intentionally did it because he thought that it would just go away. And he didn't want to bring attention to it because it would make him look bad. It would hurt his numbers or whatever. And lose him support or something. And so he intentionally bungled it and mishandled it, and led to about 1 million people dying because of him, just from COVID. That's not the count. That's not even talking about other things he did that probably led to people dying. He crashed the economy, and even before the pandemic, the economy was falling. By giving these big tax breaks to rich people, to the rich, to the top 1%. That alone was crashing the economy. And then his like these across the board tariff policies and just really, just not knowing what he's doing. And I think people are finally seeing that, opening their eyes to that little by little. And then you have things like Project 2025, which he says he has no knowledge of, but everyone that works around him have all participated in that and creating the Project 2025. And he has his own Project 47, which is basically Project 2025, and he wants to do away with so many things that even Republicans like. I think Republican workers who are in the working class Republicans, I think they like getting paid overtime pay. I would think. I think most of them do. That's one of the things I think Donald Trump wants to get rid of. Just things like that. And that's not going to win him any votes. And they've been getting booed, both Trump and Vance. They've been getting booed from, especially from unions. The unions, they're out there shouting that Trump is a scab, and he is. And probably that segment of the Elon Musk interview should probably be put on a continuous loop, where they're just laughing and having a good old time about firing people who want to unionize. That should be put on a continuous loop. Not one single union member should be voting for Donald Trump. Not one. And I wonder if I went to the Trump rally here in Las Vegas a few months back, and I've told the story before a little bit about how I was in this group. I was basically surrounded by maggots and they were closing in on me and getting in my face and yelling at me, and it got a little tense. And then one of them said he was a union member, and I said, "Well, Donald Trump is no friend of yours because he doesn't like unions." And then I don't know, people I forget what he said. We had a sort of a back and forth. He basically, told me that I was full of shit. And I said, "Well, you'll see. I guess you'll see, But he goes, "Yeah, I'm a proud union member, and I support Trump." I wonder if he still supports Trump. I wonder if that guy, and he was kind of a young guy in his 20s, probably mid-20s or something. I wonder if he still supports Donald Trump. I really, really am curious. I wish I could somehow find that guy and go, "Do you still support Donald Trump?" Because this was a few months ago. This was before the Elon Musk thing, and other things that he's said since then. I wonder, and I guess there's always a few, that are going to follow him, but he's losing the support of unions, and that's a good thing. Because if you're a union member, just know that if Trump had his way, he would make unions illegal. He would make unions illegal. Just remember that. So all you union members out there, and if you are a Republican or you vote for Republicans and you're a union member, which that in itself seems to be oxymoron, just know that Donald Trump would just as soon fire your ass than that you try to join a union or form a union. So that's, another area. He's losing the unions. Andrew Petrie's here. Good to see Andrew. Good morning, cool cats. Good morning back at you. Anthony says that he admittedly, again, said he interfered with the election. Damn, he's dumb. Yeah, that was with, I saw part of that where he said, I had the right. Oh, yeah, he was talking about, I can't understand why, I guess he got, for that re-indictment or whatever, for the election interference. And he's like, I don't understand how I could be charged with interfering in an election, which I have the right to do, or something like that. Yeah. I want to say he's dumb, but it's beyond just being dumb. I don't know what it is, and it's beyond just being stupid. It's being, ignorant, but not. There's more to it than that. I don't know if it's deliberate, to be so stupid and talk in these weird circles, just to try to confuse. Because I'm confused. If he's trying to confuse people, I think it worked. Because I'm confused as fuck when we talk about Donald Trump. Now, Nick Rich says time and a half isn't always enough. Well, that's what we have unions for, because at least when I was in a union, your basic overtime was time and a half, and then if it went over so many hours, then you get double time. And then if it was a certain holidays, you would get double time. That's what great thing about unions are: collective bargaining, getting us the overtime that we deserve. And making if we have to work a holiday, we get paid for it. We get paid extra for it. If you got to work overtime, you get paid extra. And if you work even more overtime, then on top of that, you get paid even more for that. Hey, Rob 4419's here. Good to see Rob. Thanks for dropping by in the old driver's lounge here. Good to see Rob. Andrew Petrie says, have solace in the fact that Trump is terribly out of shape, physically and mentally, and his days are numbered. The Green Reaper awaits free Donald. Yeah, I know. I know all that. But that's the other scary thing is another reason why he can't get elected because we don't want JD Vance. JD Vance is probably worse. I always wondered like once we get rid of Trump, whatever, he dies, he goes to prison, he just loses and slithers away. And the Republican Party is done with him. I always wondered, okay, what's going to replace Trump? And it'll probably be somebody worse. And that person right now looks like JD Vance, right? But of course, once Trump loses this election, then I think Vance is done for politically. I don't think he'll get reelected in the Senate seat either. So, Stephanie B2 says, "Yet my MAGA cousin is a union member. She's an in-home support service worker, and she doesn't believe me." She's in the Fox News bubble, probably or the right-wing media bubble. Anthony Renimniak says, "Have a good day, everyone. I have to go shopping for supplies. It's been nice being here." Well, thanks for being here. It's been nice having you, and I hope you come back and join us every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and Saturdays 11 a.m. Pacific time. Anthony, make sure the schedule's right here. It's over here, I guess. So there it is. Hope to see you again. Come on back. Come on back when you can. Richard is here. Hey, Richard. Richard says Harris and Walz will soon be dancing the waltz together. Or a waltz together. I hope so. But we can't take our foot off the pedal. We got to keep we got to keep pressing on, keep getting the message out, keep supporting Harris Walz. Make sure we all vote. Make sure we're all registered to vote. Get other people to vote. Richard says Trump is a wannabe dictator. Trump would be better suited as a dictator in another country besides America. Rob 4419, it's very disconcerting, I guess. The pass he gets after all the damage he did the cause. Yeah, that's the frustrating thing. Why does he get such a pass on everything? And I know, and I mentioned it. It was because they want the horse race, so they give him a pass, and then they overly scrutinize and criticize Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Stephanie B2 says, "Hey, Mango Mussolini, why don't you go to Venezuela and have a good time being their dictator?" Yeah. Let's see here now. Fancy says Trump is going for the escape. I know, Fancy. I know you. Fancy's been saying that every single time, and I agree. I mean, I agree that he definitely has an escape plan, or he's definitely thinking about, definitely he's got that in his mind, the back of his mind, like to get out of here, to flee. But Fancy is pretty convinced that it's a for sure thing, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. But he probably wants to stay as long as he can, just in case if he can win, like he won in 2016. He would, I'm sure, much rather be the president than be someone on the run. Yeah, Richard B. No. Yeah, Fox News is owned by Murdoch. Yep, absolutely. Tim Farrell says overtime costs are the deterrent to stop corporations not ensuring enough staff to operate safely. Thank your unions. Yeah, you can thank your unions for a lot. For holidays and 5-day work week, 8-hour days. And then overtime pay and all that stuff, holiday pay. Rob 4419 says he clearly doesn't care about anything the country stands for, and he tells us all the time. Andrew Petrie, we have to get John a fancy neon sign. Yeah. Well, you don't like my let's see. This is over here, right? Yeah, you don't like because everything comes out backwards over here. You don't like my fancy sign right here? It don't get no more fancy than that. Fancy says I told him he needs an address for us to send him stuff, but he doesn't listen to me. Fancy, I listen to you. I did try to make I did create a new Gmail account. And I tried to post the link. I don't know. Let's see. If you go to more, no, it's not in there. I think if you go to my channel, the channel description, I did make a Gmail account for Trucker John. Maybe I can post it. And I don't want you to send me things, but I'm just people have asked about having a Gmail account, like if they want to contact me. What do you think, Jolie? Should I put that in there? Let's see. I was trying to put it in my links, and it wouldn't. I couldn't, for some reason, edit it to the links. But there is one. It says Trucker John livestream at gmail.com. So, like I said, I'm not doing this for you to send me things, but people have said that they want to contact me or whatever. So I guess should I post that? I guess I could post it. It should be okay, right, Jolie? Fancy, we can't send packages to a Gmail account. Well, I don't want, for one thing, I don't want you guys sending me packages. And number two, but the Gmail account would be a place where we could correspond, like not over the air or whatever. Richard says, I would love Trucker John and Hal Sparks together in a future broadcast together. Me too. Like I said, you guys, whenever you're in the chat and you see Hal and he's looking at the chat, maybe that's your time to go, hey, why don't you do a show with Trucker John? So yeah, I'm putting it back on you guys, I guess. 70, can you get a P.O. box? I could get a P.O. box. But like I said, you guys don't have to send me anything. Nick Rich says Hal Sparks has a post office box to send stuff. Oh, all right. Richard C. and I play the timpani in my community orchestra here on the Gold Coast, Australia. Well, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, I'd say. What do you say? To say myself? I know, that was terrible. 72, you don't want anybody to send you cookies, John? No, I don't. If it says, okay, then feel free to send me packages. I encourage it. See, it says, the turd uses the songs once, and he knows he can't use it again, so they will do the same thing until they meet the wrong one. Oh, I must have skipped something. I know that Trump is being sued by, I think, Foo Fighters, and I think several others. They keep telling him to stop using their music, and he does it anyhow. So I think he is being sued for whatever, 72. Oh, I love that song, Delta Dawn. My dad used to play it when we would go on vacations. It was amazing that he liked any kind of rock song, but he liked that one. Is Delta Dawn here? Did I skip Delta Dawn? Oh, there's Delta Dawn. I skipped you, Delta Dawn. Sorry about that. Good to see Delta Dawn in the driver's lounge. Welcome to the driver's lounge. Jolie says it's fine to post a Gmail as long as it's for show only in case you get spammed. Yeah, okay, so Andrew Beecher said, Johnny Millions should have my package by now. I wonder if he'll open it on later today. Fancy time for air conditioning. I know it's off right now. So I think this will work. Let's see if this will work. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so see, isn't it supposed to have like a, a clickable? This doesn't look like that's clickable. So maybe I didn't do it right, but I'm pretty sure it's truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. I just set that up the other day, so I really haven't used it or anything. But I thought it would be something I could have for the show. If anybody wants to try to reach me, when when the show's not on or whatever. So I tried to make this Gmail account, and I think truckerjohnlivestream@gmail. I don't know why it's not coming up. It should be clickable, right? I'm looking at it here. I think I did it right. So anyhow, it's probably not right. Fancy says, everyone feel free to send Trucker John wild pics. I think the reason I did that, actually, the thing, because I think it was Steve Sayers. I believe he said that he bought one of my hats. And so I was like, send me a picture of you wearing the hat. And I thought, well, this would be a place where you could send it to. So hopefully, and I don't think Steve's not here, but if anyone buys any of my merch, you could send me a picture of you in the merch. And like I said, like I was telling Jolie, I'm not gonna. It really isn't set up right now for the merch stuff because it's all white shirts and stuff. I want to get a variety of colors, and I want to change the designs, get better designs. But if you do happen to buy anything in there, and then you could take a picture of you wearing it, and you could send it to that Gmail account, I believe. But it doesn't. This is not. I thought there would be a clickable thing, but anyhow, I believe that's it. truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. Alrighty, so there's that. So Kimchi's here. Hey, Kimchi. Kimchi overslept. I was wondering. I was like, "Where's Kimchi? I bet she overslept." Well, anyhow, glad you made it. Kimchi, John wants love letters. Yes, I only want love letters. Nothing bad, please. Nick Rich, John's on a fishing trip for email addresses. No, I'm not. I just told you why I did that. Let's see here. CN says, Stephanie B2, sorry to say, but I think the very racist people want that same thing and want to kill anyone they want and not go to jail, and they want the before times back. And that's why we're not going back. That's why we say we're not going back. We're not going back to Jim Crow. We're not going back to slavery. We're not going back to when women couldn't vote. And we're not going back to when women couldn't make decisions about their own bodies. Let's not forget, Rovember is coming. I think sometimes I guess I'll speak for myself. I think I have a tendency to kind of forget about Rovember already. But do that at your own peril. Because there's a lot of pissed off women. And I think the women in this chat room can attest to that statement, that there are a lot of pissed off women just about just that issue alone, which is a huge issue. It's not to be diminished at all. That the Republicans want to get rid of abortion, really across the board. No exceptions for rape and incest. No exceptions for, the safety of the mother. Just want to ban it. And it's pretty sickening. Nick Rich says, everyone here has a YouTube channel. We have that in common with over 1 billion other humans. Okay. Thanks for that little factoid, I guess. Richard says, I hope Trump ends up in prison and the inmates have their way with him. Nick Rich, my stats might be off. Oh, okay. Rob4419 says, they think they are immune to all Project 2025 stuff. How insane. Well, what they think is that, they're part of the gang. They're part of the crew or whatever. His base, they love all that shit because they think that it won't affect them. Because they really want, I guess they really want an America that is only like them. That there is no diversity. There is no other beliefs. And that America should really only be this one narrow, focused thing that they see it as being. And there should not be any, other beliefs or thoughts or anything. It should only be their way. And if you're not just thinking just the way they are and believe just the way they are, the way they do, then you'll be put in a camp, or you'll be shipped out, or you'll be forced into, basically, slavery or indentured servitude or whatever. Or sent to a re-education camp or whatever. And it is rather dystopian. It is. It's a dystopian tale. But to them, I guess it's utopia. I don't know. CN says there was a vet on at Adam Mockler, and he said the same thing, that they want another civil war. Well, they've been gunning for that. I mean, go back to Timothy McVeigh. Go back to Charles Manson. They've been trying to start these race wars. Well, that Manson was a race war that he was trying to start. But yeah, they definitely want a civil war. They want to redo the Civil War. But they'll lose this time, just like they did last time. But How many people got to get killed in the process? That's the thing. Eric Zimmerman is here. Eric says 20 to 24 years in jail. Yeah, I've seen memes about that. It's pretty cool. But hey, Eric, by the way, thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Thanks for coming on by. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Let's share the show out so we can continue to grow. We're at over 3,300 subscribers now, and that's really amazing. And I'm really grateful for that. And it's because of you guys liking, subscribing, and sharing that we get to these type of numbers. So let's keep growing, though. We got a ways to go. I feel like I'm being left in the dust by Boston Brian and Major Ojeda. And, of course, Hal, he leaves everybody in the dust. They're leaving me in the dust, guys. So let's hit that share button so we can get some more subscribers. Let's see. Richard said it's 3:13 a.m. in Australia. Wow. Well, thanks for being up at this late hour for you. I do appreciate it. Richard says there is no longer a Republican Party, but rather a Trumplican Party. Well, definitely Trump and MAGA have taken over the party, and the old school Republicans, the old leadership, they're sort of just sitting back and they're waiting. I think they're just waiting for Trump to implode or, to lose or to go to prison, and they're going to try to pick up the pieces and, and reform. But no matter what they come back as, just always remember that at the heart of it, it's always the same old thing. No taxes for rich people, no regulations for big rich corporations. That's basically what they will always be at the root of the Republican Party. Nick Rich says, are we going to ever talk about books or food in the Truckers Lounge again? Cookies, maybe. Say cookies one more time, motherfucker. Say cookies one more time. Come on, say it. All right. It's kind of like if you say cookies 3 times in a row, then I show up, I guess, apparently. So Nick Rich, you've summoned me. Now what are you gonna do? Now what do you want? All right, I'm here. I'm all yours. Now what do you want? Huh? Are you happy? Old Nick Rich? I got nothing. I was about in the back cooking some bacon. I wasn't making bacon. I was cooking the bacon. And now you've summoned me. And I'm afraid my bacon might burn. Yeah, I'm a tough cookie, but I also eat bacon, so it helps keep me tougher. All right, I'm just popping in for a little bit. What was Trucker John talking about? He was talking about, I bet he was talking about Trump or something. You know what? I'm so sick and tired of Trump. I don't even want to talk about him. He's one bacon cheeseburger away from, going teats up. So I don't know. Donald Trump. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'm going to say about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, you can go fuck yourself. How's that? How's that, Trumpy boy? Why don't you just go and fuck yourself? Because nobody likes you. Nobody, not even your own kids. They just kiss your ass. So hopefully they can get whatever money might be left over which at this point, I don't think there's any money left for them. And I hope they all die broke. I hope every last one of those goddamn Trumps dies broke and living under freeway overpasses. How's that? How's that for some tough cookie isms? Are you happy? I hope you're happy now. All right, I'm out. That's all I got to say about that. See you guys next time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tough cookie, just bringing it, huh? Hey, all right, guys, look, I just want to come in real quick, let everybody know I'm feeling okay. I hope you guys are feeling okay. All right. But, Tough Cookies, he's over there. He's a little rough around the edges. I'll give you that much. A little rough. But, when you come right down to it, I guess I have to say I agree with the sentiment. As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump can die broke and penniless. I think he already is, basically. But, hey, guys, we just got to make sure we got to vote. Vote blue no matter who. Vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. I've heard Trucker John say that quite often. And I kind of like that. When I'm amongst all my other purple-bearded friends, I'm going to tell them, hey, vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. I think that's a good saying. It's catchy. It's catchy, yeah. Kind of rolls off the tongue. The more I say it, it kind of rolls off the old tongue. Vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. Hey, yeah, it works. It works. I like that. Hey, Trucker John, I like that one. That's a good one. Trucker John's back there. Apparently there was some burning bacon or something going on. So Trucker John's taking care of that. But anyhow, pardon me. I think Trucker John gave me his cold. But yeah, guys, go ahead and make sure that you're registered to vote. And let's get that orange turd out of the spotlight and into a prison cell. Because that's where I know I'm being a little harsh. I know I'm probably coming off a little harsh today. But doggone it, sometimes you just gotta, you can only play nice for so long. And so doggone it, sometimes you just gotta let it out. Just let it all out. And so gosh, by golly, I'm just gonna say it. Donald Trump needs to go. Go to prison, whatever. I'd like to see him go into prison. He deserves it. I'm going to just say it. I'm just going to say it. He deserves to go to prison. He's a rapist, felon, pedophile, you name it. Traitor to the country. Oh my gosh, I know I'm really being harsh today. I guess Tough Cookie really rubbed off on me. I'm being very harsh. But, it's time to take off the gloves. Even if they're the nice sequined kind, you got to take them off and just have at it. You know what I mean? So anyhow, I don't want to get too harsh. I don't want to bring down the energy. I don't want to, I don't be too negative today. But I guess on a positive note, I'll just say, I'll just reiterate: vote blue for everything that's dear to you. I really think that's a great saying. And if anyone wants to make any bumper stickers to that effect and then put Trucker John's name on it, I think Trucker John invented that saying, so should probably give him credit for it. Vote blue for everything. Wait, how's it go? Vote blue for all that's dear to you. Yeah, Trucker John invented that. He's so brilliant. Trucker John is so brilliant and smart and witty and everything like that. Is just amazing. Amazing guy. All right, but that's it for now. I guess I'm going to go back and help. There's apparently a grease fire going on now in the kitchen, so I gotta go clean it. I think they're trying to put it out with water, and that's now there's flames. I think there's flames or something. So I better get back there. All right, yeah, get back there and clean that mess. The Tough Cookie's not doing it right. He's making it worse. You're making it worse, Tough Cookie. But Paul will fix it. Paul, the purple beard guy, he's going to fix it back there. All right, guys. So we had a visit. But we had two visits. We had those guys. Let's see, who else we got? What else we got in the chat? Let's see. Something about Capone's cell phone. Oh, yeah. Cell and Alcatraz. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Richard says Donnie will soon be history. I am hoping, man. I am hoping. We're down to what, 62 or 63 days? It can't come soon enough. We need to send Donald Trump a packing, as I like to say. Send them a packing. MJ Daniel says, I'm in Washington State. It should be better, and I do not trust owners based in Florida. I don't either. Kimchi says, shh, don't tell I have a crush on the amazing talented Cookie. I mean, John, yes, him. Cookie has a fan. Kimchi. And Cian's laughing. But yeah, we need to send old Donnie Boy a packing to a prison. He can pack his little toothbrush. But yeah, it can't come soon enough. 62, 63 days, whatever it is. We need to make sure we vote. And vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. So if making your own reproductive choices is important to you, you need to vote blue. If maybe workers' rights, working conditions, promoting unions. I'm not saying that every job has to be a union job, but when we have at the height of our of unions in the United States, I believe we were at about 33% of, I guess all jobs. I guess that's including private and public and all that kind of stuff. I believe we were at about a third of all jobs were union jobs. And that was a pretty huge number, and it made it so that the non-union jobs had to compete with the union jobs. And so they had to offer higher wages. They had to offer benefits. They had to offer, things like overtime pay and holiday pay and all that because of the unions, that people could say, okay, I'm not going to work here. I'm going to find a good union job, So we don't need to have 100% union jobs, but after Reagan pretty much demonized unions, and there's been this big, through the Republican Party and through Fox News and Rush Limbaugh, over the decades, unions were just shit talked. They were just put down. They were like I say, demonized to the point where fewer and fewer people were wanting to join unions and form unions, and union jobs were going away. And a lot of that was also due to the fact that companies were moving overseas, moving their operations overseas, and they didn't have to unionize over there. So it got down to the point where, at one point, I think we were less than 10% of all the jobs in America were union. I think so. We went from about 33% or 30-something percent down to single digits in the span of about 30 or so years, 30, 35 years or whatever. Now, under Joe Biden, we've seen a resurgence of unions. We've seen jobs come back that we thought would never come back. We've seen companies and manufacturers coming back to America. And we've seen union jobs come up. I don't know what the percentage is now of, union jobs or whatever, but we're making a comeback, and unions are growing and getting stronger again. And I think that's a great thing. And I think we can really thank Joe Biden for that and his policies, the Bidenomics. have played a great deal to bring back unions. So if that's dear to you, vote blue. I got that's where I was. That's where this came from. The my little saying, vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. And so yeah, so if like I say, if women's rights are dear to you, if workers' rights are dear to you, if the environment is dear to you, climate change, trying to address that, if that's dear to you, vote blue. If something like Medicare for all, getting Medicare for all is dear to you, vote blue. If you want to keep your Social Security, if that's dear to you, vote blue. If getting make sure that Social Security and Medicare are solvent, and that's dear to you, vote blue. CN says, I have my son lurking all the time, looking for something to eat. So if I'm gone, you know why. Yeah, go feed your kid, CN. Go feed your kid. You can keep us on in the background, Minus Kevin Anderson, I scared 3:30. I going for MRI. Oh, well, yeah. Good luck on that. Hope that goes okay. Kimchi says, now I'm fine, Kimchi, but I was mad yesterday. I have friends that threaten him. Talk to him. Oh, I don't know. I was skipping down. I kind of was missing what that was about. Seeing all the best. Fancy, that just pissed me off. What did I miss? I missed something. I skipped down at my own peril because I don't know what you guys are talking about. Apparently, there's something about a porn video that Kimchi was talking about. I don't know how you guys get on the subjects you guys get on. But there's something about a porn video going on there. Okay, anyhow, I hope that all works out. James Hermio says, Kimchi, you have no idea what he would be in for if I was close to you. That's blankety blank sick. Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. So I hope that gets worked out. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? I am extremely thirsty today. So if you see me chugging water, it's because I'm really thirsty. Put this over here. That was my water. That was my water break. Make sure you guys hydrate. Kimchi says, I was assaulted with a man's homemade porn video I didn't want to see. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. That's awful. That is awful, Kimchi. 72, how is your blood sugar drawn? Thirst is a sign of diabetes, unfortunately, I know. Well, it's also a sign of being thirsty. Kimchi says he was drunk and no longer my friend. Ugh. I'm glad he's not your friend anymore. Delta Dawn's laughing at me. That's okay. That's okay. I can take it. 72. That is my friend. That it is. Wait, what? Wait, that. No, that is my friend. That is. So yeah, we're all mad at this guy. We're wishing death upon this guy. Andrew Petrie says a death wish for him. But anyhow, let's see. I do have another little meme I was going to share. Let's see. Where is it? It is right here. Oh, well, it's just this. It's just this here. Harris Walls for the future, because we ain't going back. We're not going back. We're not going back to 1973 or 2 or 4, whatever year it was that Roe v. Wade, got made into law. It made the law of the land. It made it where women can make their own reproductive choices. We're not going back to that time when women can't do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to go back to pre-1965, civil rights movement. We're not going to go back to Jim Crow. We're not going to go back to segregation. We're not going to go back to women being second-class citizens when they couldn't even open a checking account or get a credit card without their husband's approval, their husband signing on with it. We're not going to go back to that, are we? We're not going to go back to when women couldn't even vote. We're not going to go back to that, right? We're not going back. We're not going to go back to slavery, to the 1860s and before the Civil War. But I really believe that's what this Republican Party, that this is what MAGA, they would love to see slavery. And it might sound like hyperbole, but I don't think it is. They would love to see slavery come back. They would love it. And they'll try to tell you, oh, we're not racist. They're full of fucking shit. They're all a bunch of goddamn racists. These maggots. So no, we're not going back. We're moving on. We're moving forward. We're going into the future with a brighter promise, with hope, and with joy, of course. We have to put joy in there. And that's what Harris Walls is all about. It's about going forward, moving forward, not going back. So I wanted to put that little meme up there because it's so important that we keep supporting Harris Walls. That sounds like the name, huh? Like, hey, what's your name? Harris Walls. But the ticket, Harris Walls. There probably should be a slash there, But we need to take this to the home stretch. This is sort of the theme of the show today, I guess, about being in the home stretch. Down to 62, 63 days, somewhere around there. Basically 2 months. We're down to the nitty-gritty. The Republican tricks are going to keep coming. They always want to have this October surprise or whatever. We've got to be ready for whatever they try to throw at us. We cannot be fooled. We cannot fall for the old dipsy-do. We can't let their old tricks, take us by surprise. We can't fall for, any type of these psyops. Because they're going to get help from the Russians. They've been getting help from the Russians. We can't fall for disinformation. We can't fall for the influence campaigns. We got to just keep our eyes on the prize, and the prize is the White House. It's getting Harris, Tim Walz, Kamala Harris into the White House. and all down the ticket. Getting Kamala Harris the Congress behind her that she needs. That's why it's important that we vote Democrats all through the ticket for your House of Representatives, for your U.S. Senate. We vote for Democrats. We need to get them in office. And we need to get those majorities. And maybe someday, and maybe I'll be lucky enough to live long enough to see it, maybe someday we'll get rid of that goddamn electoral college. And maybe someday, and this we have a much better chance of this happening, we'll get rid of the goddamn filibuster. And we'll start operating this country like a democracy, like it was meant to be. And not some supermajority bullshit. Kimchi says, I put different facts on my thank you Joe sign to mess with my repuke neighbor. 15 million jobs. Yep. And it seems to go unnoticed in the mainstream media. And so many people, they act like there's so many people, and it might not just be right wingers. It might be so-called liberals, so-called moderates, seem to think that we are in a horrible economy. But inflation is down to under 2.9%. I think last I heard, I think it was 2.5%. Like the number was cited there, 15 million jobs created under Biden. Unemployment at all-time lows. Income's up. Income is up. Incomes are rising and have risen. And yet it goes unnoticed in the mainstream media. And when people are polled, you would think we were in a Great Depression or something right now. So we need to get that message out. I keep looking in the chat, waiting for Mike H to show up. He might be lurking, I don't know. And the only reason I wanted to talk about Mike H is because you know how Mike H, how I won't say his last name, because if you say it together, it sounds like, not that I really have any issue saying the word cunt. There, I just said it. But it's I feel like if you say his name, it's like, oh, he feels like, oh, I gotcha. It's like a gotcha thing. You know what I mean? And anyhow, Mike H, when people comment on my videos, when I'm in my YouTube studio, I can see the little, I guess it's Gmail account or email account, whatever it is. I can see what their account is. And for Mike H, it's like Joel something. It's like, and I'm not going to completely dox him, and I can't even remember the whole address anyhow, but it says like at Joel P or something like that. And then there's like some numbers or whatever. So apparently, and Mike H has, because I've even said, yeah, that's a fake name. You have a fake name. And he has said, no, that's my name. My parents actually named me that. He's actually said that in the chat rooms and on my live streams before. But now I see that his email address or whatever it is, it says at Joel something. So just so you know, Mike H his name is really Joel, I believe. Is it one of those is fake? I don't think he can both be Mike and Joel. There's one or the other. So he's a big fake. He's a big phony. He's a big fraud. And if you ever see him come into my chat or any other chat, because he's been coming around some of the other chats I've noticed, just know that he's a big fake. He's a big phony, big fraud. That's not his name. Don't let him try to fool you. Go, that's really my name. My folks really named me that. No, dude, you're full of shit. You just made that little name up because you think it's like a gotcha name if someone says it. And he can go and he can giggle and he can go jerk off probably because he made someone say the name. You know. So just know that he's a big fake, big phony, big fraud. And if you see him, if you want to call him out on it, go ahead and call him out on it. Let's see. Jolie says November because we're not going back. That's right. We're not going back. Kim Chi says, I'm really a 10-year-old boy. Fooled you, huh? You never know. You never know, Kim Chi. I mean, you guys know who I am because I'm on the camera, but like James Jaramillo, I don't know. James Jaramillo could be not James Jaramillo. Fancy could be, although I think I've seen Fancy on Fancy's page. Nick Rich could be Joe Blow. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Andrew Peachy, Joel P. That's a start. Yeah, it was something like that. It was like Joel. I know it was Joel. I think it was a P in there or something. But anyhow, like I said, I'm not trying to dox the guy. I'm just trying to point out the fact that Mike H is not his real name and he's full of shit. Roxanne Unfield says, I just refuse to acknowledge him, Trucker John. Yeah, that is probably the best thing. I there's two ways I kind of look at it. Like, it's always like, don't water the trolls, so because trolls come in and they're just trying to get reactions, right? But sometimes I like to try to, I guess, if someone, I guess there's a difference between being a troll and being someone who just is someone from the other side and they want to just, I guess talk or express their views or whatever. And I kind of like to, I kind of like to know what the other side is thinking. I like to get their perspective. So if you can get an honest person who's just there to have an honest conversation, that's fine. But if they're there just to get a reaction out of you, then yeah, it's best not to even interact with them because they're just trying to trigger you. Anyhow, 72 says Kimchi has really cool parents that they let her online. Yeah. Fancy, he did subscribe. Did he subscribe or did he get that as a membership? I think it was gifted. Probably by you, Fancy, or by or someone, or maybe by Joel, maybe Jolie. I don't know. But anyhow, Kimchi says laughing out Steph. James says don't go there, man. Kimchi says Steph homeschooled. I blow those stats out of the water. 72, you can at least try to educate the troll. If it doesn't work, then you don't feed it. Yeah, so I guess the bottom line is, if you are going to interact with a troll, I think it's important to not be triggered, not get triggered. That because they want a true troll just wants you to get upset and get into a flame war with them. Now, like I said, if it's a person who's actually trying to just express their opinion and their viewpoints, and maybe they're here to try to see what the other side thinks, and the other side being us, right? Then that's different. But just don't be triggered and don't give them what they want. They want you to get upset. Yeah, James Sherman, I think it was a gift. Yeah, I think so. I think he got one as a gift. Oh, Fancy says, no, I talked him into it, laughing out loud. All right. Well, he's not here today for some reason, unless he's lurking. I'm a keener. I watch, don't always comment. Well, there you go. You just commented, so thanks for commenting. I understand a lot of people don't want to comment. They just like to listen and lurk, and that's fine. I do that a lot myself when I'm on other people's shows. Usually because I'm busy doing other stuff and I've got the show playing and I can't just intently watch the chat. And that's fine. I'm just glad you're here, and you can drop in like you did and say hi. That's great. So I'm glad you're here. I'm a keener. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I hope you hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Robert Perez. Hey, Robert Perez is here. Says, hello, Trucker John. Stuck here in the cage with a 1-year-old, but watching you with one eye on the TV and the other on this demon seed, laughing out loud. All right, Robert. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for chiming in. And yeah, you got that little 1-year-old running around. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye on that one. But thanks for dropping in. Rob 4419, there are a few near me and they drank all the Kool-Aid. I guess that's Republicans or trolls. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out to you guys, let you guys know. So next time, if you do happen to see a Mike H lurking, or not lurking, but like dropping into a chat, just know that that's a fake name, even though he'll claim that it's not a fake name. Trumpers, Trumpers are by Rob 4419, surrounded by Trumpers. And I'm really hopeful that the number of Trumpers that are around us, I'm really hoping that the number is shrinking. I think it is, but it is frustrating. Isn't it frustrating that that it really is like such a close race when it really shouldn't be? It should be. It really should be like Kamala Harris should be leading in the polls like 90-1. I mean, at least from my point of view, from my perspective, that's how clear cut it is of how much better Kamala Harris would be as a president than Donald Trump. It should be like 90% in favor for Kamala Harris, and and maybe 10% for Trump, but it's not. Now, Kamala Harris has been doing great in the polls. She's done a great kind of a turnaround, where Biden was behind, and now in these polls, Kamala Harris is up a lot. So we've seen a lot of like 7, 8, 9, 10-point swings, and that's great. And we've seen a lot of states that were leaning Republican are now either toss-up states or they're leaning Democrat. So we've seen a lot of changes for the better, for Harris. But still, when it comes down to it, it's still pretty close. And it seems like it's always close, at least in the polls and leading up to it. But it really shouldn't be. In a perfect world, if we can get the media out or get the news out or get whatever it is we need to get out, it really should not be close. Because Kamala Harris has been a part of the Biden administration, obviously, because she's the current vice president, and we've seen such a pretty fast turnaround from inheriting a really collapsed economy from Donald Trump. And we've seen such a turnaround in these last few years, especially these last 2 years. That's been an amazing thing, truly amazing, amazing economy. And yet, like I said, you would think if you listen to polling and you listen to these questionnaires or whatever, and people being interviewed, you would think that we were living in a Great Depression right now, which is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. So I guess I keep saying this, we got to get the news out. We got to get the word out that, Biden Harris has done a great job with the economy. And Harris Walz will continue that. And I guess we just got to do it ourselves, because the mainstream media sure as fuck ain't going to do it. So I guess you and I got to do it. Jolie says Sugar John has channel memberships and super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Or buy John a coffee over there at buymeacoffee.com. Thanks, Jolie, for that reminder. Any way you can support the show is always welcomed and always appreciated. Any way. And liking, subscribing, and sharing are no charge. And they are just as important. So any way you can do it, sharing, getting us into the algorithm would be great. 72, I need to get my Harris sign for my yard. I think you can get them online, I think. Go to the Harris campaign, or maybe Act Blue, or there's probably different places you can go. I think they'll send them to you for free. I've sent off for some free stickers. I got some stickers coming. Since I live in an apartment, I really don't think I can put a lawn sign in, yard sign. But I got stickers coming. It might be. You know what? I should go check my mail. I haven't checked my mail in a couple days, so it might be in the mailbox right now. Kim, she says it won't be close. He knows it, and he's paying for good polls. But bet we find out. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's close now. I do think you're right that it's going to be a blowout win for Harris. I guess me and a lot of people were kind of hesitant to say that, because we don't want people to get complacent and not vote or whatever. We got to vote. We got to make sure we vote. We can't take anything for granted. Hey, Big Hook is here. I haven't seen Big Hook in a long time. So thanks for coming on in. Big Hook says, I must have pissed off Big Hook or something. I don't know. Big Hook says, Trumpers are simpletons, simple answers to complex problems. The educational system being exploited by right-wing media. The right-wing media as a whole. Feelings over facts being exploited. It's a choice to be stupid. I don't know about that. I don't think it's, well, some people are just stupid. Anyhow. 72. I believe you need to pay for the yard signs. I did last year. It's a form of donation. Yeah. Yeah, go on, probably on their campaign website or whatever, and you can get more information about that. I know they're sending me some free stickers. I could have donated. I can't donate right now, but I will send them a donation. But they're sending out free stickers, and then you can always donate optionally. Kim, she says, Josh, bet they bitch but did not participate in the primaries. Let's see. Oh yeah, 70. Can you put a yard sign in your front window? Yeah, that's actually You're right. I could put one right there in my window. There's a window right here. That's right, 72. Thanks for reminding me. I could do that. I think I'm going to do that now. Now that you mention it, thanks for bringing that up, because for whatever reason, I was like, it's got to be in a yard. But yeah, I could just stick it in my window. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to order me some yard signs. Some yard signs for the yard. But I'm going to put it in the front window. It's a good idea, Steph. Thanks for... See, sometimes you just, overlook things or whatever. Rob says, and yet they are shopping and doing travel, etc., and yet they're undecided. And that's the other thing, these undecided people. And I've been hearing people on the TV, or whatever, on the internet, they get interviewed, and they're like, I don't know what Kamala stands for. Talk about being stupid, and stupid being a choice. How could you not know what Kamala Harris stands for? I don't know her policies. Okay, well, name me a policy that you're confused about. What policy are you confused about Kamala Harris on? Give me a policy, and I'll tell you her position on it. And do they honestly think that Donald Trump has any policies? He doesn't have any policies, and he was president. His only policy is lowering taxes on rich people and stripping away regulations. Those are his policies. So, what is the fucking confusion? We know where Kamala Harris stands on abortion, on the economy, on healthcare, on the environment. We know where she stands. What's the fucking confusion? Kimchi, awful economy as they drive their giant RV to another state and spend thousands. Yeah, following Trump around. Kimchi says signs are like 20 for $30. I don't need 20. I only need one. 72. I need to get the free stickers and put one of my cousin's bumper. She has a gray Pray for America bumper sticker right now. Yeah, I got it was just in my Gmail account, and there was a thing for stickers from the campaign. I guess because I donated earlier, so now I'm on their mailing list, and so they were sending these things out to get stickers. Jolie says, I'm happy to announce I got my bacon. So good. All right. Good to hear it. Finally, after an hour and a half. Robert Perez, either you're playing dumb or you're just plain dumb. Nick Rich says, yard signs for Harris Walls could be reused in 2028. They'll be running again. Rob 4419, after watching him for a decade, how is being undecided even still a choice? Yeah, I don't know how they can use that as an excuse. We know Donald Trump. He was president. We know where he stands. We've seen his goddamn rallies, and he says the same shit over and over again. We know Kamala Harris. Not only has she been the vice president for 4 years, she was a U.S. senator. She was a California AG. We know where the fuck she stands. What's the confusion? Kim Shee says undecided equals uninformed. Yeah, they're uninformed, but I think I'm beginning to agree more with Big Hook. Big Hook, stupidity is a choice or whatever. I mean, how could you be, after all this time, be so uninformed unless you are just willfully ignorant? Kim Shi says black voter registration in one state went up 175%. Yes, we are seeing huge numbers of new registrations from black people and from people of color and from young people. Kamala Harris has energized the voting electorate, the voting age people. And all this would lead me to believe that it should be a blowout in favor of Kamala Harris. Delta Dawn says people are just straight up effing stupid, my man. Stupid, willfully ignorant, living with their heads buried in the sand, whatever. I don't know. But then why are they going on things? They're being interviewed. Why are they interviewing those people? Are those are those people the outliers? Are they the exception, or are they the rule? I mean, I don't know. Stephanie B2 says, I love that the Harris-Walz team will say things that the Biden-Harris team would not have, and they need to be said. They're bringing it. They are bringing it. Andrew Petrie says, it has to be a landslide, so Trump has no leg to stand on. It was rigged. F.O. Don. I think it means fuck off, Don. Yeah, let's vote in overwhelming numbers for Kamala Harris. Kimchi says the campaign is way behind on orders. Just got a sign I ordered 3 days after announcing, which has been like over a month now, I think, right? CN says, hey, I'm back. Is Hal going to be on today? I believe at 3 o'clock Pacific time here in the States. As far as I know, he's going to be on. And Roxanne says, as far as we know. Big Hook says, I think people are getting bored by Trump and the extreme agenda of Project 2025 are finally getting voiced. Freedom of everything is at stake. Overtake the government agencies is fascist. And I do think that even his own followers, the biggest maggots, I do think they're getting bored too. They don't want to admit it, of course, and they're still going to support Trump, but I think they are getting bored because he's very boring. And especially when he says the same things over and over and over and over again. And you're like, oh my God, please stop. And I think even the maggots are getting bored. Kimchi says, the man is literally insane. He shows his ignorance and dementia daily. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it either. How people still follow him. They think he's, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Kim Shi says, you nailed it, John. Willful ignorance. Been saying it for a decade. Nick Rich has only one device to access the interwebs. Big Hook, is Randy back on at noon? I believe so. Oh, you're asking Kimchi. I believe but I do believe that Randy Rhodes is back today. Nick Rich, 2 full hours. John, I'll catch you later. Oh yeah, I'm at 2 hours, aren't I? Yeah. Well, thanks, Nick, for being here, and I am I'm gonna shut her down pretty soon here. So, but thanks for being here. Kimchi says yes. I think Randy comes back today. Jolie says I keep telling myself we have to have landed in an alternate timeline or dimension, because that's how unreal it seems to me that absolutely anyone would support that orange fucking idiot. It is mind-boggling. That's for sure. It does leave you scratching your head and other various bodily parts. You know, it is mind-boggling just to think. Even just thinking of 2016, I'm still. I'll say it like I said on the last show. I think flabbergasted, or one of my previous shows, the word flabbergasted came up. I'm flabbergasted. Still, when I think of 2016 and Trump winning in 2016, that I'm shaking. Yeah, I am literally shaking my head. That is a real shaking my head moment. I still can't believe he won in 2016. Still, and it's been 8 years. So, yeah, it is mind-boggling to think that he won even the first time, and that he's in it here, and he's the leading Republican candidate, he's the Republican nominee, and he could win again. I like I said, I don't think he's going to, and I do think that it's going to be a landslide. But I thought that was going to happen in 2016. I thought Hillary was going to win bigly. So it is mind-boggling. It is totally flabbergasting, mind-boggling. Like, what the fuck is going on here? How can we have such a clown? And that's no disrespect meant to clowns, but because Donald Trump is way more than a clown. I mean, he's an evil fucking rapist, and he's a traitor to this country. I always kind of struggle. What's worse, being a rapist, a pedophile, or a traitor? And I want to say being a pedophile is probably the worst thing you can be, and being a rapist is probably the worst thing you can be. But being a traitor is right up there. I mean, you're selling your country out to Russia and to God knows who else, the Saudis and North Koreans and whoever. I believe that he did do all that. He's a traitor. So he's more than just a clown, but especially in 2016, when maybe we didn't know all that stuff. But I knew he was a clown back in 2016. I didn't know he was a rapist. I didn't know he was going to be a traitor in 2016, or especially, in 2015 leading up to 2016. I just knew he was a clown and an idiot and a moron and a sleazebag. That's what I knew going in 2016. I knew that he was a sleazebag, good for nothing, poser. But now we know so much more, and we have no excuse now. If he becomes president, we have no fucking excuse, because we know he is an evil fucking man who deserves to be locked up for the rest of his life. And he has no business being anywhere near the White House ever again. Never, ever, ever. And that's the whole thing. We're not going back. We're not going back to a Trump presidency. And we're sure as hell not going to bring on their dystopian wet dream of Project 2025. We're not going to stand for it. That's why we're all going to vote for Kamala Harris. All right, guys. With that and rousing speech, I guess I'll let you go. Now, you know, I did mention my that Gmail account that I created, truckerjohnlivestream@gmail.com. If you need to get a hold of me, I also have that Discord. Jolie has told me that, and I forget to mention that I do have a Discord page. I guess it's I can't even remember my Discord. Is it Trucker John? And then there's a Trucker John driver's lounge over there too. If you ever need to try to get a hold of me when I'm not on or whatever. Boy, I feel like getting hoarse or something. But yeah, guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Make sure you share out the show. Like I said, I'm lagging behind. I'm getting left in the dust. Boston Brian's kicking my ass. The Major's kicking my ass. Come on, guys, let's step it up. Let's step it up. Let's share the show out. Let's get those subscriptions going. And but anyhow, I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you around. See you around town. And I'm just looking at the chat here real quick. Just want to say hi to everybody. Penny2 Creates here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Andrew Petrie's here. Delta Dawn. Hey, guys. So I guess that's it. We're 2 hours, 12 minutes. So, time for me to go. Time for me to go do some stuff. Go on about my business. Go check my mail, see if my stickers came in. All that good stuff. And I guess that's it. So we'll see you in the chats around town. Maybe I'll see you at Randy Rhodes chat. Maybe I'll see you at House Sparks chat later on this afternoon. And yeah, there's the Discord. There it is. Jolie got the Discord link, and you can go in there if you guys ever want to. Now, I might not. I don't live on the thing, but you know, I'll check it. You know, daily, I guess. But if anyone goes in there and you can say hi or whatever, we have that also. So thanks for posting that, Jolie. And let's see, I guess that's about it. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And I'll see you guys Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you, maybe, to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back